welcome to the mom video. We have 2 kids and 1 mom doing this video.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So Evelyn and I have a fun video for you today. We're going to be showing you some easy DIY sensory games that you can play with your baby.
And your 5-year-old.
And your 5-year-old. These games are easy to construct with things that you probably already have around your house. Yeah. And not only are they really engaging and great for your baby's brain, they're also pretty fun too. So let's
get started.
So as always, I'm gonna kick this off with my favorite project of the bunch. This is some DIY baby safe kinetic sand that you can easily make at home. All you're gonna need for this project is some whole grain rice cereal, some coconut oil, and some food coloring, which is optional and didn't really work for me, as you're about to see. So all you're gonna do is pour out your rice cereal, use 1 cup, and then add 3 tablespoons of the coconut oil and sort of fold it all together until it is well incorporated. You can see my 5-year-old who colored tiger stripes on her arms is actually helping me to mush it all together, and it did feel really, really cool. Now the texture of this is just awesome. You can see that it molds together, it easily crushes. It's almost exactly like kinetic sand, but unlike kinetic sand, it's actually safe for your baby to eat if they do end up ingesting some. Now we ended up moving this party outside because it was much easier to clean up afterwards, and both of my kids had so much fun squishing this around and throwing it and playing with the little people in it. It was really a fun time. Now this next project is one that is sure to excite your baby's sense of smell. It is a DIY smell jar. Now all you're going to need is an empty plastic container with the lid, or you can even use an old spice container, but mine still had spices in it, so I couldn't repurpose this one just yet. But all I did was just poke some holes in the lid of these plastic containers I got from the dollar store and kind of made my own spice jar type of setup, and I just put in some orange peel, some rose petals. You could really add anything that smells great, and then just let your baby have at it. They can experiment trying to taste it, shake it. You can see at first he really didn't like the oranges, and then he kind of went for it. Whatever you think your baby might be interested in, have at it. This third project is a fuzzy pipe cleaner pool. All you need to make it is some fuzzy pipe cleaners and any colander that you have laying around. And then you just basically roll the ends of the pipe cleaners to make a stopper on each end, and also to tuck in that kind of pointy part that can be sticking out. And then you just fish it through the holes in the colander and cap off the other end. Repeat this with all the different colors that you have, and then hand it to your baby. Not only is this great for sensory simulation because it has a lot of different unique textures, it's also great for learning object permanence because your baby can realize that even though they can't see something, it might still exist underneath the colander or on the other side of where they have pulled it to. So it's kind of a great learning tool, and it actually occupies them for some time. So if you need to get dinner done or you have other things to do, your baby can stay busy with this one for a little bit. This next project was another favorite of my son's, and that is water play with DIY baby boats. Now to make this, all you're going to need is a pool noodle that you can pick up at the dollar store, and then you just cut it into simple little rings. Place your baby boats in the water and allow your baby to have at it. Now you can make this even more exciting by making the water warm or by freezing the boats to add a little bit more sensory stimulation. Either way, your baby will have fun splashing around in it, squeezing the flow, trying to balance things on them. There's really a lot you can do with this even as your child gets older. So water play is always a great occupier, and it's always a lot of fun, and it's great sensory play for your baby. Next up, I have an easy DIY sensory book that you can not only use at home, but you can also take on the go, and it is lots of fun. Everything I used to make it, I picked up at the dollar store. So I started with these foam sheets, and then I just grabbed whatever else called out to me as I perused the aisles of the dollar store. And then I used some non-toxic glue to glue the foam sheets together and make the pages a little thicker, and then to glue my sensory items onto the pages themselves. You could also use a hot glue gun. It would work great here as well, but I did not have one handy at the time. Lastly, I added some descriptive words to each of the pages so I'd have some things to talk to my baby about while he was playing with each of the different activities. He really liked this book, and it actually kept him busy for quite some time, so that was a win for me. And like I said, it was easy easy to put together and it's easy to take on the go. Next up, we have some mess-free finger painting. This is a really cool project. It keeps your baby busy and it also makes a great keepsake. So all you need to do to make it is put some blobs of paint on a piece of paper, slide that paper into a Ziploc bag, reinforce the edges with tape, and tape it down to a flat surface and let your baby have at it. My little guy loves squishing the paint around with his fingers. He couldn't quite figure out what was going on in there, but it did keep him occupied for quite some time and it made a really cute keepsake for us to hang up on our wall. Another fun and easy idea is to make a DIY sensory bottle for your baby to explore. Now you can do this with anything, whether it be a plastic container you get at the dollar store or even a water bottle, and all you need to do is find anything that you think looks cool to put inside. So I did one side with some Orbeez that I picked up at the dollar store, and the other side I did an oil and water food coloring combination, and my baby just really loved this. So you could really use your own creativity, put some glitter, some little toys, anything that calls out to you. Now my final DIY sensory game for you and your baby is to make this squishy gel sensory bag. Now all you need to make it is a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and you're going to want to reinforce the edges, like all of the edges multiple times, to make sure that it's really held together well. And then you just want to add in whatever sensory items call to you inside the bag. So I used pieces of that pool noodle again and some fuzzy pom-poms that we had lying around. And then I took some hair gel from the dollar store and I used about 2 bottles to fill up the bag and submerge the item. Lastly, I pushed out any excess air and sealed the bag really well before adding more layers of tape to make sure it was closed up. Then I let my baby have at it and he really enjoyed this, and I liked it too because it actually felt pretty good to squish these things around. So I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you next time. Adios.
Subscribe my mommy's channel.